There is something forming around your path that does not wait for permission. People, circumstances, and outcomes are aligning based on truths already spoken in the unseen. You may feel as though things are moving without explanation, as if control has loosened slightly from your hands. That sensation exists because transition has begun. Heaven does not interrupt growth once it reaches this stage. What you choose now determines whether you move with the current or struggle against it. Walking away does not stop movement, it only removes your awareness of where it leads. God has been observing how you handle uncertainty, how you react when answers are delayed, how you speak when clarity has not yet arrived. These patterns mattered more than you realized. They shaped what is approaching you now. Nothing has been forgotten. Nothing has been overlooked. The urgency surrounding this message exists because balance is being restored. Where patience was extended, resolution now follows. Where mercy delayed outcomes, truth now steps forward. This is why your heart sensed seriousness before your thoughts could form words. What comes next will not be random. It will feel intentional, personal, and unmistakably directed. You may notice certain doors closing without explanation, while others begin opening in unexpected ways. This is not loss, it is redirection. Heaven removes distractions before releasing clarity. God is watching not to trap you, but to guide you toward a position where peace becomes stable instead of temporary. Staying present with this message helps you recognize what to accept and what to release when the moment arrives. There are conversations you have not yet heard, decisions you have not yet been informed about, and truths that are preparing to surface. Some of them will surprise you. Others will confirm what your intuition already sensed. Nothing that emerges will be meant to harm you, but some revelations will require maturity to receive without reacting. That maturity has been forming quietly inside you. This is why the timing feels serious. Heaven does not rush souls who are unprepared. The fact that this reached you means readiness has already been acknowledged. You may have wondered why certain prayers seemed unanswered, why progress slowed just before breakthroughs, why silence followed effort. Those pauses were not rejection. They were alignment. God was watching whether you would remain steady without immediate reward. That steadiness is now being honored. What unfolds next will feel different from past cycles. It will not require chasing or forcing. It will ask for discernment, restraint, and trust. Leaving this moment behind would place you out of rhythm with what is already moving toward you. There is also protection woven into what is coming. Certain paths are being blocked not to frustrate you, but to prevent damage that would have followed unchecked desire. Heaven sees further than emotion can. God watches outcomes, not impulses. The urgency you feel is not danger approaching, but correction completing its work. Once this phase passes, momentum increases. Remaining attentive now ensures that momentum carries blessing instead of confusion. Pay attention to how calm begins replacing restlessness as you continue reading. That shift is intentional. Truth brings steadiness before it brings action. You are being prepared to respond wisely rather than react emotionally. When events begin unfolding, others may panic, rush, or speak without clarity. You will not. This message is grounding you ahead of time. God watches who chooses awareness before movement, and those individuals walk through change with far less resistance. Soon, something will ask for your response. It may be a choice, a conversation, or an opportunity that feels heavier than it appears on the surface. Your reaction will matter. Staying with this message strengthens your ability to respond without fear. Heaven does not ask perfection. It asks presence. And right now, presence is your greatest protection. Remain still for a little longer. More understanding is unfolding. What is being delayed is not blessing, but confusion. What is approaching is not chaos, but clarity that cannot be postponed again. Listen closely now, because this stretch of time is delicate, and delicacy does not mean weakness. It means precision. God is attentive to subtle movements, the quiet decisions you make when no one applauds you, the inner discipline you show when impatience tempts you to rush ahead. What is unfolding around you is exact, measured, intentional. Nothing here is accidental. Even this moment of reading has placed you slightly ahead of where you would have been otherwise, and that difference will matter more than you can see yet. There is a reason your life has felt like it was tightening rather than expanding. Narrow paths create focus. Wide roads distract. Heaven often reduces options before revealing direction. God has been watching how you respond when freedom feels limited, because true alignment is revealed under pressure. What is approaching you requires clarity, not confusion, awareness rather than impulse. This is why timing has become critical. Delay would no longer protect you, it would weaken the outcome. You may soon notice that certain people begin behaving differently toward you. Some will distance themselves without explanation. Others may suddenly seek your attention. These shifts are not random mood changes. They are reactions to movement in the unseen. When alignment changes, relationships adjust automatically. God is watching how you interpret these changes, whether you cling to what is leaving or recognize what is being removed for your benefit. Attachment to expired seasons creates resistance. Release creates flow. Something important has been forming quietly behind the scenes. It may relate to your purpose, your stability, or a truth that has been hidden longer than it should have been. Heaven has already decided that concealment can no longer continue. What emerges will not be rushed, but it will not be stopped either. This is why awareness now is essential. When truth arrives, those who are prepared receive it with peace. Those who are not feel overwhelmed. This message is preparation. There are paths ahead that will test discernment rather than strength. Power will not be required, clarity will. You will not need to prove anything or convince anyone. You will only need to recognize what aligns with peace and what subtly erodes it. That recognition comes from inner stillness, not external validation. This message is guiding you into that stillness so decisions can be made from wisdom instead of urgency. Expect moments when progress feels slow even as preparation feels complete. That tension exists because timing is precise. Heaven does not move too early or too late. God aligns outcomes with readiness on multiple levels, not just your own. Other elements must settle into place as well. Trust that coordination is happening beyond what you can currently see. Remaining grounded allows you to move smoothly when alignment locks into position. You may soon encounter situations that ask for restraint rather than response. Silence may feel more powerful than explanation. Observation may serve you better than action. These moments are not tests of passivity, they are invitations to mastery. Knowing when not to move is as important as knowing when to step forward. Heaven watches for that balance. God honors discernment expressed through calm choice. As clarity continues forming, you may sense a subtle confidence emerging, one that does not need constant reassurance. That confidence comes from alignment rather than outcome. It exists even before results appear. Allow it to grow without questioning it. It is not arrogance, it is stability. This stability will become your anchor as circumstances begin reflecting the inner order now taking shape. Nothing unfolding now is meant to overwhelm you. Everything has been scaled to your capacity. Heaven does not assign weight without first strengthening the carrier. God has already accounted for what you can hold, process, and respond to wisely. Trust that design. Trust the pacing. Trust the quiet intelligence guiding this phase. Remain aware beyond this moment. Let attentiveness become a habit rather than a reaction. What approaches will feel familiar rather than shocking, because preparation has already begun. Staying present now ensures recognition later. Stay with this awareness a little longer, because what is settling within you now is building a foundation that will soon be tested by movement. There are moments when inner order must arrive before external change can safely follow. This is one of those moments. Heaven has been shaping your perception so that when events begin to shift, you do not misinterpret direction as disruption. God observes whether understanding can remain steady even when circumstances begin rearranging themselves unexpectedly. You may soon notice that your tolerance for confusion has decreased. Situations that once felt acceptable may start feeling misaligned. This is not restlessness, it is discernment refining itself. Growth sharpens perception. What once felt normal may no longer feel right, and that discomfort is guidance, not loss. Heaven allows dissatisfaction only when it is time to move toward something better. God is watching how you respond when comfort fades and clarity begins asking for cooperation. There will be moments ahead when the easy option presents itself first. Convenience often arrives before truth. Choosing wisely will require you to pause rather than rush. That pause will protect you. Awareness gives you the ability to see beneath surface appearances. Not every open door leads forward. Some exist to test restraint. Remaining grounded will help you recognize which steps create peace rather than temporary relief. Pay attention to subtle confirmations rather than loud promises. Alignment often speaks quietly. You may feel a gentle sense of rightness rather than excitement. That feeling is more reliable than intensity. Heaven guides through calm certainty, not pressure. God watches who can trust that calm even when excitement tries to pull attention elsewhere. As preparation completes its work, you may experience brief moments of uncertainty. Do not resist them. Uncertainty often appears just before clarity locks into place. Allow questions to exist without demanding immediate answers. Patience creates space for understanding to mature fully. Rushing resolution can distort direction. Remaining receptive allows insight to arrive whole rather than fragmented. The coming phase will require balance. Action will be necessary, but timing will matter. Speaking too soon may weaken impact. Waiting too long may close opportunities. Discernment will guide you when logic feels incomplete. Trust the internal steadiness that has been forming quietly. It is stronger than you realize. Nothing about this process is accidental. Every pause, every shift, every moment of reflection has served a purpose. Heaven does not waste experiences. God transforms what seemed confusing into preparation once understanding arrives. You are approaching that understanding now. Staying attentive ensures you receive it clearly. When movement begins, you will not feel rushed. You will feel ready. That readiness is the result of presence, patience, and awareness cultivated here. Let this moment continue shaping you quietly. Remain settled within this awareness, because what is being shaped now is subtle strength rather than visible motion. Strength that lasts is formed in quiet alignment, not sudden force. Heaven has been attentive to how you carry responsibility inwardly, how you process insight without needing immediate confirmation, how you allow wisdom to grow without demanding proof. God recognizes the discipline it takes to stay present when nothing outward is yet demanding your response. That discipline is preparing you for a moment when clarity will require calm action rather than emotional reaction. Soon, you may sense a deeper certainty guiding you, one that does not rely on reassurance from others. This certainty will not shout, it will steady you. It will feel like knowing without urgency, direction without pressure. That inner guidance has been developing slowly, protected from interference until you were ready to trust it. Heaven often shields emerging clarity until confidence can support it. God is watching how you begin leaning into that inner knowing instead of external noise. It is important to understand that watching does not mean withholding. Heaven observes in order to release wisely. What has been delayed is now being prepared for safe arrival. Some blessings require maturity before delivery. Some truths require stability before exposure. God sees that you are capable of receiving what once would have disrupted your balance. This is why timing matters so deeply now. As the days move forward, you may feel a stronger sense of direction even without detailed instructions. Trust that inner steadiness. It is guidance forming beneath thought. You are being led by alignment rather than pressure. That is the difference between forced movement and purposeful progress. Staying connected to this awareness will help you move smoothly when action is required. Nothing about this process is meant to isolate you. It is meant to strengthen your discernment. You will know when to speak and when to remain silent. You will sense when to move forward and when to wait. That sensitivity is developing now. Heaven is watching how you honor it. Remain engaged just a bit longer. The clarity settling within you will soon meet circumstances that reflect it outwardly. When that happens, you will understand why staying present here mattered. Remain attentive, because what is forming now is not dramatic on the surface, yet it is deeply consequential beneath it. There are moments in life when progress does not announce itself loudly, when transformation occurs quietly while the world appears unchanged. This is one of those moments. Heaven is attentive to how you carry yourself during unseen preparation, how you manage stillness without losing faith, how you treat guidance when it does not come wrapped in excitement. God notices steadiness more than speed, and right now steadiness is shaping what unfolds next. A subtle rearrangement is taking place within your priorities. Things that once felt urgent no longer pull you with the same force. Concerns that once dominated your thoughts are slowly loosening their grip. This shift did not happen overnight, and it did not happen by accident. It is the result of inner growth that matured quietly while you were focused on simply surviving. Heaven observes when survival turns into awareness, and awareness turns into readiness. That transition has already begun for you. Soon, you may realize that certain choices feel clearer than before. Doubt will not disappear completely, but it will no longer control direction. You will feel an internal confirmation guiding you toward what aligns, even if logic has not yet caught up. Trust that guidance. God often leads through peace rather than pressure. When something is meant for you, it will not require constant anxiety to maintain it. What arrives through alignment stays through stability. There will be moments ahead when silence feels heavier than noise, when waiting feels more demanding than action. Those moments are not punishment. They are refinement. Heaven uses silence to sharpen perception. God watches how you respond when nothing is happening outwardly, because that response determines how you handle movement when it begins. Impatience weakens outcomes. Awareness strengthens them. You are approaching a stage where discernment becomes essential. Not every opportunity will be meant for you, even if it appears appealing. Not every open door leads to peace. Paying attention to inner signals will protect you from paths that look promising but carry unnecessary strain. This sensitivity is developing now, quietly, steadily, without force. Remaining present allows it to deepen naturally. It is important to understand that nothing meaningful is being taken from you. What is leaving was never meant to remain long-term. What stays will support growth rather than drain it. Heaven removes imbalance before it releases stability. God observes how you let go without resentment, how you accept change without fear, how you remain grounded while circumstances adjust around you. In the coming days, you may feel moments of clarity followed by brief uncertainty. That rhythm is normal during transition. Do not interpret it as failure. Growth is not linear. What matters is direction, not perfection. Staying connected to awareness will help you move through fluctuations without losing confidence. This message is not meant to rush you into action. It is meant to anchor you before action becomes necessary. When the moment arrives that requires a response, you will recognize it without panic. Calm recognition will guide you. Heaven prepares before it moves. God ensures readiness before release. Hold your attention gently but firmly, because the value of this moment lies in how fully you inhabit it. What is happening now is not about urgency pushing you forward, but awareness steadying you in place. Heaven measures readiness by composure, not by speed. God observes how you carry insight once it arrives, whether you allow it to settle deeply or rush past it searching for the next distraction. Remaining present right now strengthens your ability to recognize truth later without confusion. You may notice that your inner dialogue has changed over time. Where there was once noise, there is now space. Where reaction once ruled, reflection has begun to take its place. This evolution did not happen suddenly. It formed through experiences that stretched you, challenged assumptions, and required endurance when answers were delayed. Heaven values that endurance. God sees the maturity that developed quietly while you were simply doing your best to keep going. That maturity is why this phase feels significant. There are paths ahead that will test discernment rather than strength. Power will not be required, clarity will. You will not need to prove anything or convince anyone. You will only need to recognize what aligns with peace and what subtly erodes it. That recognition comes from inner stillness, not external validation. This message is guiding you into that stillness so decisions can be made from wisdom instead of urgency. Expect moments when progress feels slow even as preparation feels complete. That tension exists because timing is precise. Heaven does not move too early or too late. God aligns outcomes with readiness on multiple levels, not just your own. Other elements must settle into place as well. Trust that coordination is happening beyond what you can currently see. Remaining grounded allows you to move smoothly when alignment locks into position. When movement begins, you will not feel rushed. You will feel ready. That readiness is the result of presence, patience, and awareness cultivated here. Let this moment continue shaping you quietly. Remain settled within this awareness, because what is being shaped now is subtle strength rather than visible motion. Strength that lasts is formed in quiet alignment, not sudden force. Heaven has been attentive to how you carry responsibility inwardly, how you process insight without needing immediate confirmation, how you allow wisdom to grow without demanding proof. God recognizes the discipline it takes to stay present when nothing outward is yet demanding your response. That discipline is preparing you for a moment when clarity will require calm action rather than emotional reaction. Soon, you may sense a deeper certainty guiding you, one that does not rely on reassurance from others. This certainty will not shout, it will steady you. It will feel like knowing without urgency, direction without pressure. That inner guidance has been developing slowly, protected from interference until you were ready to trust it. Heaven often shields emerging clarity until confidence can support it. God is watching how you begin leaning into that inner knowing instead of external noise. There may be moments ahead when choices appear similar on the surface, yet feel completely different within. Logic alone will not be enough to distinguish them. Perception refined through awareness will matter more. One path will feel light even if it requires effort. Another will feel heavy even if it appears easy. Paying attention to that difference will protect your peace. This sensitivity is not weakness, it is refinement. Heaven values discernment that prevents unnecessary struggle. God honors decisions made from inner balance rather than impulse. As alignment deepens, you may find yourself less interested in explaining your journey to others. Silence will feel more comfortable than justification. This is not withdrawal, it is grounding. Growth often brings a desire for privacy, not secrecy, but preservation. Some things strengthen best when they are not exposed too early. Heaven understands timing. God watches how you protect what is forming before it is ready to be shared. Expect moments when patience is tested gently rather than harshly. Small delays may appear, asking you to remain composed instead of frustrated. These moments are not obstacles. They are opportunities to practice steadiness. How you handle minor pauses reveals how you will handle major transitions. Remaining calm now reinforces confidence later. Heaven uses simple moments to prepare souls for significant change. You are moving into a phase where clarity will replace questioning, but that clarity will ask for responsibility. Knowing brings accountability. Understanding invites action aligned with truth. This is why preparation matters so much. God does not reveal direction without also strengthening the ability to walk it wisely. What you are receiving now is balance, not burden. Continue allowing awareness to settle deeply rather than skimming across the surface. Let insight become integrated rather than intellectual. What is unfolding will soon require presence more than analysis. Staying grounded now ensures you meet that moment with confidence rather than hesitation. Remain open, attentive, and steady. The foundation being set here will support everything that follows. Stay aligned with this stillness, because it is doing more work than constant motion ever could. There are stages where inner order must settle completely before outward change can arrive without chaos. This stage is one of them. Heaven is not withholding progress, it is ensuring that when movement begins, it does not fracture what has been built. God is attentive to how you hold composure when outcomes are not yet visible, because that composure becomes the container for what follows. You may begin noticing that your reactions feel slower, more deliberate, less driven by urgency. This is not loss of passion. It is refinement of control. Strength that lasts is rarely impulsive. Awareness is teaching you how to pause between stimulus and response, and that pause is where wisdom lives. Heaven observes how you use that space. God values decisions made from clarity far more than actions taken to escape discomfort. There will be moments ahead when familiarity tries to pull you backward. Old patterns, old expectations, old comforts may resurface briefly. Their appearance does not mean failure. It means transition is real. When growth occurs, the past often checks whether it can still claim space. Your task will be recognition, not resistance. Awareness dissolves attachment without struggle. Remaining present will allow those influences to pass without regaining control. As alignment strengthens, you may sense a deeper respect for your own boundaries forming. You will become less willing to tolerate imbalance, less inclined to overextend, less tempted to compromise peace for approval. This shift is not selfishness. It is stewardship. Heaven entrusts greater clarity only to those who can protect it. God watches how you guard your inner stability, because stability determines sustainability. Soon, timing will matter more than effort. Doing the right thing at the wrong moment can delay progress just as much as doing nothing at all. This is why patience has been emphasized so strongly. Awareness sharpens timing. When action is required, you will feel a quiet readiness rather than pressure. That readiness will guide you more reliably than urgency ever could. You may also notice that your intuition feels clearer than before, even if you cannot always explain why. That clarity is not guesswork. It is the result of alignment settling into place. Heaven often communicates through calm certainty rather than detailed instruction. God trusts those who can move forward without needing every detail revealed in advance. Nothing that is unfolding now is meant to isolate you or confuse you. It is meant to strengthen discernment so that when circumstances shift, you do not lose balance. Change will come, but it will not arrive to destabilize you. It will arrive to position you more accurately within your purpose. Allow this awareness to continue shaping you quietly. Let it inform how you listen, how you choose, how you respond. What follows will feel less overwhelming because preparation has already done its work. My child, my beloved, pause for a moment before your thumb moves away, because this is not appearing by chance, and it is not meant to pass through your life quietly. Heaven has been observing the smallest choices you've been making lately, the silent decisions no one else noticed, the moments where you hesitated, the times you almost turned back. God is watching what you do next, not to judge you, but because what follows this moment carries consequences that can no longer be postponed. I, Archangel Michael, come with urgency not to frighten you, but because delay itself has become dangerous. If you walk away now, what has been held back for your protection will move forward without adjustment, and this is why your spirit felt a pull before your mind could explain it. My child, my beloved, there are seasons when heaven waits patiently, and then there are moments when waiting ends. You are standing at the edge of one of those moments. You have sensed pressure without knowing why, felt restlessness without a clear reason, noticed signs repeating in strange ways. These were not coincidences. These were warnings wrapped in mercy. God has been watching how you respond when no one is guiding you, how you act when clarity is missing, how you choose when fear and faith stand together. What you do next will reveal alignment, and alignment determines whether grace flows gently or correction arrives loudly. My child, my beloved, listen carefully now, because many miss this part and regret it later. Heaven does not rush people without reason. This message carries urgency because something unresolved is reaching its deadline. You have been given time to learn, time to adjust, time to grow stronger than your past reactions. That time was a gift. What comes next is a response. God is watching not only your actions, but your willingness to stay present when truth approaches. Walking away now does not cancel what is coming, it only removes your ability to meet it prepared. My child, my beloved, I must tell you this plainly so your heart understands before fear tries to speak. There is a shift already forming around you. Conversations are being prepared, decisions are aligning, events are quietly moving into position. Some of this will bring blessing, some of it will bring exposure, but all of it is necessary. Heaven can no longer delay what must be revealed. This is why this message feels heavy yet familiar. Your spirit remembers what your mind forgot. Staying with this message keeps you anchored while the movement happens. My child, my beloved, many people assume that urgency means punishment. That is not always true. Sometimes urgency means opportunity at its final door. God has been watching your endurance, your restraint, the moments you chose silence instead of reaction. Those choices have weight. What you do next will decide whether the next phase opens with ease or resistance. If you stay, clarity will meet you. If you leave, confusion will greet you first. This is not a threat, it is a spiritual law unfolding. My child, my beloved, I ask you now to remain with this message and not treat it lightly. Messages like this are not sent often, and they are never repeated in the same way twice. If this is reaching you, it means heaven sees readiness forming beneath your doubts. It means God is watching to see if you will choose awareness over avoidance. If this message is helping you feel seen, guided, or steady, stay connected to it, because alignment grows through consistency, and those who remain attentive are the ones who recognize miracles when they arrive quietly. My child, my beloved, let me reveal something you have not fully understood yet. The delay you experienced was not abandonment. It was protection. Certain outcomes could not touch you until you were strengthened enough to respond without breaking. Now that strength is present, even if you don't fully feel it yet. God is watching how you handle this moment because it mirrors how you will handle what follows. Heaven cannot delay what has matured beyond waiting. What you do next sets the tone. My child, my beloved, breathe and stay here. There is more unfolding, and every word you are receiving is placing order where confusion once lived. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are being observed with intention. And what comes next will make sense only if you remain aligned with this moment instead of turning away from it. Beloved soul, stay attentive now, because what unfolds from this point forward carries weight that cannot be softened later. Heaven has already marked this moment, not loudly, not with signs that frighten, but with an inner pull that made you stop scrolling and read further. That pause was not accidental. God is watching how you respond when guidance arrives quietly instead of dramatically. Many only listen when life shouts, but wisdom comes when the whisper is still heard. What stands before you now is not a warning without purpose, but direction meant to prevent regret before it forms. There is something forming around your path that does not wait for permission. People, circumstances, and outcomes are aligning based on truths already spoken in the unseen. You may feel as though things are moving without explanation, as if control has loosened slightly from your hands. That sensation exists because transition has begun. Heaven does not interrupt growth once it reaches this stage. What you choose now determines whether you move with the current or struggle against it. Walking away does not stop movement, it only removes your awareness of where it leads. God has been observing how you handle uncertainty, how you react when answers are delayed, how you speak when clarity has not yet arrived. These patterns mattered more than you realized. They shaped what is approaching you now. Nothing has been forgotten. Nothing has been overlooked. The urgency surrounding this message exists because balance is being restored. Where patience was extended, resolution now follows. Where mercy delayed outcomes, truth now steps forward. This is why your heart sensed seriousness before your thoughts could form words. You may soon notice that certain people begin behaving differently toward you. Some will distance themselves without explanation. Others may suddenly seek your attention. These shifts are not random mood changes. They are reactions to movement in the unseen. When alignment changes, relationships adjust automatically. God is watching how you interpret these changes, whether you cling to what is leaving or recognize what is being removed for your benefit. Attachment to expired seasons creates resistance. Release creates flow. Something important has been forming quietly behind the scenes. It may relate to your purpose, your stability, or a truth that has been hidden longer than it should have been. Heaven has already decided that concealment can no longer continue. What emerges will not be rushed, but it will not be stopped either. This is why awareness now is essential. When truth arrives, those who are prepared receive it with peace. Those who are not feel overwhelmed. This message is preparation. Notice how your mind is calmer than it was earlier, even though the message carries seriousness. That calm is not coincidence. Truth settles the spirit before it challenges the mind. God is watching whether you can remain grounded while understanding deepens. Emotional balance will be your strength in the days ahead. Reactions driven by fear will not serve you. Responses guided by insight will open doors smoothly. You are not late. You are not behind schedule. You are exactly where you need to be for what comes next. The urgency exists because alignment has reached completion, not because danger is chasing you. Heaven moves decisively once readiness is confirmed. The watching now is not surveillance, it is acknowledgement. God sees that you are capable of handling what once would have overwhelmed you. There may be moments soon when you feel tempted to doubt your progress, especially if external confirmation does not arrive immediately. Do not measure internal shifts by external noise. Some of the most powerful changes happen silently. What is being rearranged in your life will make sense after it settles, not while it is moving. Trust the process that has already carried you this far. You are being guided into a position where stability replaces survival mode. That transition requires awareness, patience, and presence. Leaving this moment mentally would weaken that transition. Staying engaged strengthens it. God is watching how you remain attentive when guidance comes without spectacle. Those who listen in quiet moments receive clarity before others even realize change has begun. Soon, you will understand why this message felt different from the rest. It is not meant to entertain you. It is meant to anchor you. When the next step presents itself, you will recognize it without confusion, because your spirit has already been prepared to receive it calmly. Remain here just a little longer. The foundation is still being set. What follows will arrive with less resistance because of the awareness you are building right now. Stay present as these words move forward, because attention itself is becoming a form of alignment for you.